It's about that time once more for the Through My Eyes podcast. My name is Emmanuel Kutosi, the muscle from this direction, authoritatively said, of course.
Authority does not necessarily mean power. It can be delegated to the person in authority.
Introduce yourself, one.
Relax. Authority does not mean there is power. The power can be delegated and you have the authority to execute, but it can still be withdrawn. Sawa. My good name is Yvonne Kemuba. What?
Yeah. Continue.
No, it's the brains.
Okay, move with the brain situation. But I'll tell you something because you decided you're going to begin this with a banter. My friend, you see, the most powerful vehicle I think currently within the Kenyan market is maybe a Land Cruiser TX. That thing can clock speeds. It's powerful. If it hits something, it can probably go through it. Probably it can go at around 220 kilometers per hour. But in Nairobi's traffic jam, it has the power, but it can do nothing. But put motorcycle in front of it, put an officer, put a motorcade, and decide the speed is 220. It moves. Not because of anything else, but because of the authority that is now before that vehicle. It can now move at the 220 kilometers, not because of anything else. Go and try right now. You'll end up in an accident or something. But with that authority in front of you, you even see that you all move aside, the president to pass at the speed they want to move at. That is the power of authority. Do not disregard authority. And today, without giving you any more moments to bring that back, we're going to be talking about friends. Are you my friend? After all that, are you my friend?
Actually consider you a friend, yes. When you wanted to be affirmed, your love language is the words of affirmation.
Yo, I'm not branching about that.
No, what's your love language in friendship?
In friendship, I really don't have a definitive. I can't say it's something that I have thought about, but I believe everybody does need a social structure of some kind because we are social beings. So when you're talking even about friends, we are talking about, well, you can have a very big following, particularly on social media. Are these your friends? Facebook writes friends, and there you are. On other pages, at least they write followers, so you are perceived the leader because they are following you. But there's also like, I think, breakout, or rather a split between digital friends and real friends. And I don't know if you're feeling the vibe. Do you see the difference between a digital friend and a real friend?
Yes, I see the difference, and it's usually important to like put the correct tags to what you're having with someone. Can be colleagues and not friends. You can be friends, but friends who just go out partying together. So ni rafiki wa raha, and it's important to just know it from the word go. Huu ni rafiki wa raha, ikifika kwa masaa ya shida they are not available, and that's okay.
And I'm curious, huyo rafiki wa raha kufika kwa shida sio rafiki, are they still a friend?
They are.
Because remember, and I don't know if maybe the wise men were high, but they did say a friend in need
is a friend indeed.
So when you're having the good times, we are together. But when it becomes rainy, you're nowhere to be seen. Are you still a friend?
Kutosi, if you and I only just happen to like be meeting at the same place without planning or anything, we just have like a common place we go to have fun, maybe on Thursdays and Fridays, and we run into each other so often to the point I know your face, I know like what you are coming here to do, I know this is what brings me here, and we usually engage in that context most of the time. I wouldn't really expect you to be there for me on a Monday morning when I'm going through hell, because nimezoea tu like wewe ni mtu wa raha hapa. So if I'm to transition you from this angle to the other angle, yes, it can transition to that, but I have to be like very cautious. Okay, for me, usually, sometimes you might know someone in one context and then out of nowhere, they need something from you. They need something from you, and like sometimes it feels like a burden. Because for me, I haven't seen you into the context like I would be your go-to call when you're in trouble. I haven't gotten to that point. I'm considering there's someone like you ukinipigia, unanipigia because you need something urgent. Yes, I might help, but I haven't like prepared myself psychologically for that. Yeah.
I don't know. When you fragment whatever, like when you fragment it in the silos that you've talked about, I don't know if it still holds the authenticity of being called a friendship. Because from my end and how I look at it, when I'm your friend, I have a burden already. One, the burden of love. You are my friend. I may not always keep tabs on you, but my friend, like I'm the how are you, my friend? That's where I'm at. Because if you're my friend, I want to know how you're doing. I may not call you as often. We may not even link up for months. But when you meet, you're my friend, unajua. And there's something different about you. See, when we say like we only meet when I'm on a high, yet I do have lows. I don't think you know me. And I think maybe that's why we have that breakout of friends. But we grow into becoming these friends. I get in touch with you. I know about you. As continually we go on, I come to understand what I know about you. And depending on how open you are and I am, I get to know more about you as you know about me. It becomes like we just exchanged pods, and you're now receiving data from me, I'm receiving data from you, and it's like we shake each other until we find a balance of, yeah, this is someone I want around me. And I'd call you at any time, but then if I consider you a friend, mi nitakupigia hata saa sita.
Sawa. It is also important to understand where your friendship is at. Sawa. Where your friendship is at. Like, are we at a point like you can rely on me to like be there for you in your good and bad times? No. Like, where is our friendship at? It's okay to let things evolve slowly. So that's what I think about friendship. Friendship is important, but ensuring everyone is on the same page is also important.
How do you ensure you're on the same page? This is a friendship. It's a social construct of society that has been there for eons, and I don't know. Is it like friendship in a tissue when Keuma, can you send me some loose 5k, man? I mean, is there when the shock happens? Because there are some people who have been my friends, and then that random calls comes and, hey boss, saidia hapa na, saidia lakini.
So they place you at a hard place.
I don't know, but I also want to probe you on this. Is that moment of like financial engagements between friends, like that determinant? Is it the one that measures, okay, where are we as friends? Because there are people who will ask you for, and you won't even reach. You'll be like, ni utaka tao tano, boss, mimi niko na moja tu itakusaidia, wacha nikupatie, watafutange hizo zingine. There is that who's like, and there is that one you don't even, you're like that, like the moment someone just asks you for money is the moment you have a light bulb moment, like inataka kupotea baniaje.
Okay, sasa may I just say, now that is where maybe your intuition comes in. Your intuition, like wewe common sense yako inakwambia huyu ni mtu like even in your previous engagements, how open has this other person been to you? And how open have you been to them? Like, is it quantitative ama is it zina balance out? Like mimi nakwambia mazuri yangu, what's going on in my life, and you tell me what's going on in your life, and we try and find a solution together. Then now maybe you get to a place of that confidence, you're like, oh, huyu ni rafiki, I can trust them in this. But you find someone who's always just there telling you about the most surface level things. They'll just tell you, Lord, nimekutana na makanga mzuri, but you won't get to know their personal life. So like it's also you to like determine where they have placed you, depending on your previous engagements, and then act accordingly.
Okay, Muma, I'm still bound on that financial aspect. What's the most you've ever like given a friend? And also, what's the highest? Like, I want to know that financial situation with friends from your end. I'm curious.
With the friendships I've had, like the one time I had like an actual friendship, I can say do or die, was back in primary school, class 6, class 7.
Hey, we just went to
Like it was just a guy. Susan Malaba was her name. I can't find her on social media. Party. But anyway, that is the one friendship I can say has left like a mark for me. So like that is where I would say maybe tungekuwa saizi angeniomba pesa mingi. Then the other one was perhaps close to that was in high school. We've tried connecting after high school. So I haven't lent anyone money, by the way. I haven't lent anyone money because we are friends. But some people wameniosha kidogo. Some men wamejenda.
So now let's bring it home. Were you cleaned because walikuosha? These guys like conned you and swiped you of your money. Did they swipe you because of where you had placed them in the bracket of friendship? Or was it just your own folly?
Okay, for me, it was a matter of just swinging it. Someone introduces themselves, hey, I'm so and so, I do this business, da da da. I think I bought a product or two, and then we kept in contact. So we kept in contact, and then he's like, hey, biashara imekuwa ngumu, but I have this deal with someone, da da da, and I need some fare to go and akisina kitu. Can you buy something? That is how we came up. Like, can you buy something? Then I will get money to get me there. And kaambia kinyewe sina, but I have some loose money. So at that point, I'm like, this is money I won't mind losing. It was like I think 850. I have some loose money. Just take it and then you return it to me. Nikamtumia, and then he was like, yes, nilienda da da da, but I never got the money. It wasn't because like I had placed them at a point like I think we are friends, but it was at a point where maybe I just see someone who is trying to sell a product, and they are like, Aki, I have a deal, but sina fare ya kwenda. Okay, I'll give you the money. If you return, you return. If you don't, you don't. He never returned the money.
So did you consider them a friend, or was this just an associate?
It was just me helping a human being.
Well, I guess you were being a friend.
The number of times I have lent people money, I don't think it is because I considered them as friends, but it was just like you like really went through your contact list and looked and found me, and you decided I'm the one who can lend you the money. Okay, unataka ngapi? If it's not an outrageous amount I have sent, and 9 times out of 10 wamenisumbua kurudisha hizo pesa. I don't have friends who have asked me for money. The friends I have, the ones who can buy me something on my birthday, have never asked me for money.
So you're the one who asked them for money?
I've never actually, hata mimi siombangi pesa actually. Hata mimi siombangi pesa. Like, I have that need of not borrowing money around. So I just try to work within my budget. But the friends I have, ni birthday gift exchanges, and we are good. We might not talk for a while, but I know they're like, I can go to them for help sometimes. But yes, I don't have friends tunaombananga pesa, or I have friends who don't like the idea of borrowing people money. Who just respect their finances, keeps to their finances, sticks with their budget, lives within their means, as our president will say, and then life is good. But someone just comes out of nowhere and they're like, I can say so sometimes I think to myself, and I'm like, perhaps like in their whole circle no one else would help, that's why you just decided to go to the farthest person in your contact list. I'm like, ni sawa, chukua pesa.
So you just decided to loosely just pull the president in that.
See, the one who was making a call somewhere. Live within your means.
But I'm curious, so what is that like? We may not really be attentive or conscious to it, but what is that aspect you think makes one have the value of being a friend, and a friend who can be termed a good friend currently? Because I'll give you context. We've had various social media capacities, particularly if you go real back. Remember Chira, Brian Chira. Brian Chira when he had issues, guys could crowdfund. Pale TikTok,
yeah.
and you see, woo, and money is there for him to get out of one or the other issues. It's unfortunate how he went, but I'm curious. These guys came in for him, and not only him, we've seen various people getting that more or less a financial boost from people they don't know. Yeah, we've seen guys on even platforms like TikTok and the like just being gifted a freaking lion there, another lion, another. All of a sudden, they're just weeping there because they've brought it from point A to point B with what they've been able to gift you. Now, those friends, some of them do not know you. Yes, they're termed friends by the social media platform, but they've come in a unique way, in a benevolent way. Do you think that aspect of friendship and what we've traditionally had, one is different? And of the two, which one do you think is sustainable?
Perhaps we need each of those, because sometimes there are people who are just there for like some small things to help you around. When I talk about destiny helpers or something, like I don't know, it's just important to acknowledge what people are able to do for you and not like try and like ensure they do everything.
So are they friends or are they not?
They are friends, not friends that will know your personal matters when it's not important, but there are people who are there for you. And if you are able to give back to them, it's also good. But social media, friendship, I will just say it's human beings being human beings to other human beings.
Are we the ones who make real friends? Is it your responsibility to make a real friend?
It's your responsibility to be a good human being to other human beings. That's how I look at it. So instead of just trying to compartmentalize things in the context of friendship, I will say maybe in the spirit of Ubuntu. In Ubuntu, we are living together because I am, because you are. And it takes a village to raise a child. And in this village, everyone plays a different role to ensure that the child is well nourished. They don't have to be a friend, but when they are around the child is able to like get something from the proper person they are hanging out with. It doesn't have to be necessarily friendship, but community has to be able to take care of the individual as they also contribute to that community in a way that is not draining for them. So when you have people online who are coming together to help someone else in need, it doesn't mean friendship, it is community. And that's just being human beings on those platforms.
I get what you're coming with, and well, from my end, the way I look at it, and also all those questions that I've laid your way, when I break them down, I look at a friend as someone who has genuine concern. One, about you. And by me being a friend is when I realize my concern has reached a certain pedigree. It's beyond what I would give someone who's begging on the streets or something. There's like a more heightened concern that allows me to know this is someone I want to get close to. I want to know them. I don't proactively go to it. In fact, I think for most of the friends I have, we just bumped into the relationship. Like, I don't know if I've ever been intentional, like, I want to make that person my friend. I've been intentional about creating a network to be a business partner with someone, but not necessarily like I'm intentionally working towards making that person my friend. I've not done that. But for most of the friends, it's like in the motion of life, in the whatever, we just find out, we're just clicking. For some reason, I want to hang around with you, you want to hang around with me, and we're just finding a balance each time. We strike the same environment, and we move like that. On the subject of getting swindled, yes, I've also been cleaned, a good one. And I've been cleaned by people actually who I considered friends. One, because I was able to relate to the situations they were in, because for one reason, maybe I had also been in a similar situation. So the picture is clear. So I'm seeing your problem through my eyes. And that becomes a problem because I try to reach out to it the way I would, but maybe you're on a different pedigree. Maybe you have different intentions. It is costly, I tell you. But the Chinese say, when you give and it disappears, that was money well spent. So I work with that mantra to save myself from a lot of heartache, because I believe friendship comes with some level of expectation. That's why you would be hurt if a friend maybe insulted you than any just random guy.
Yeah, true.
Like even looking on the digital spaces, because there is where we are getting that influence of is this the death of real friendship, because you're having a lot of digital friends who one day they're your friends, they're giving you the likes and everything. The other day or sometime there, a weird picture comes out of you in a very compromising situation, and all of a sudden
Yeah, they weren't spending it,
they are
but
now they fattened the bull. Now they are eating you to bits.
yeah.
You know, and what usually I believe wounds, because the wounds of a friend are quite deep, it's because of how you had allowed them to come in. So I believe even with friendships, like there are levels, because when I look at how a person is, we are like an onion with layers and layers and layers. And when you are at the core, there is no more layer. Like you are right there. And for people who you allow to come in, they have to have a certain classification for some reason. Actually, when you realize this is actually a friend, because when you're a friend, it means you've broken past all those layers. There is a place you've entered, even if it is you just stumbled into it. You're now within this space, so that I can both recognize you and feel like, yeah, you've reached a certain point. And now I believe now something that I think I should do, and I think maybe is the way to go around this, is now from there you now start like more or less a vetting process before they come to the core level, because anyone who's at the core can literally disbalance you. A friendship that moves through all those cores and reaches that core level, actually I believe that's where intimacy even comes from, because now you even know how I feel without necessarily even speaking to me. You can just you just see me, and even when other people can able to not like, is he okay? You know I am not okay, because the level that you're at, you have more data than all these other people out here. My work relationship may not understand, maybe my boss will not understand. But there's someone who's closer who now gets it and maybe can walk me out of that space. Maybe they may not even be able to walk me out of it, but they are with you somewhere there. You see? And if they are not, because of that expectation and how deep it was, it becomes an issue. I'll give you a case study. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I told you I'm a Christian, and I believe.
Okay.
So he's at the Garden of Gethsemane, and he goes with his compadres, goes with them. Then he comes with, they're like a slot of like, I think it's 3 or so. He goes with them. This is a moment when he's contemplating how he's about to receive a whooping.
And killed. Yeah.
Yes. And you know, sometimes I think it's easier to just die with a quick one
Than
than
knowing.
anticipating it. And I can imagine the trauma he was going through, because actually, even when you look at movies and it's maybe a terrorist situation, they're in the building and you're just hearing the shots, and you're like, you know, it's nerve-wracking even for someone who's watching the movie. So imagining he's in this situation, then he goes to tell, like he's out to tell, hey guys, yeah. Then he finds the guy sleeping, and he's like, couldn't you even 1 hour? I can imagine how he was even speaking, like, because these are guys that he expects, or rather, because he was human, according to the analogy. I believe he was like, these guys are the ones who at least get, because he had 72, he had 12, then he had these 3. So these guys are in the core. They are the guys you would expect would actually understand how he's feeling. But by him coming out and finding them sleeping there, and he asks them to let's go and pray. Like, guys can't be serious, yo. At least then he goes, then comes back and finds them again asleep. Where? Guys, this is just something.
Well, no.
Don't take it personally. But I'm imagining the situation where unajua vilanga vingi tunataka kuingia.
Let's hope God has a humor.
But I'm trying to gauge how that feeling is, you know?
Okay.
Yeah. So for those friends who are that close, it's like it becomes now the burden. They do have a responsibility, whether they like it or not.
Yes. Now, before we get to that part of responsibilities, I have a question. There's forming friendships and there's forming romantic relationships, i.e. falling in love. Would you say, in the case of you fall in love with a partner for better for worse, do you also like fall in love with friends? Not like the romantic kind of way, but you've mentioned like there's vetting for friends. There's vetting for friendship and determining who makes it to the top 3, the ones who just let really close.
I said it may be a good behavior too. And can you just move your microphone up because I've seen your and you will capture everything here better.
Okay, swali ni katika to establish in Kiswahili ni nini? Katika
kuunda msingi.
Kuunda msingi. Katika kuunda misingi ya urafiki na katika kuunda misingi ya mahusiano ya kimapenzi. Kunao
Unatumia tu Kiingereza. English was just there for you.
I'm just trying to catch a coastal guy. Say Kiswahili changu ni kibaya. But it was paid for school fees. So I have to use it once in a while. Angalau nikiamua to move to the coast.
Dividends za mzazi.
Yes, thank you. So is there a difference when you're forming romantic relationships and in forming the other forms of friendships? Like these ones of you are engaging people who you will let really close. How would you go about that?
That's a huge one. How will you go about doing the vetting now?
Doing the vetting, like, is it like when you're forming friendships, romantic relationships, you fall in love? Is it the same for friendship? You look at someone and you're like, that is a friend.
I think there's a difference in this aspect. One, there are people who fall in love. There are people who plan
to fall in love.
Yes. And that's a different perspective. Particularly, I'll tell you, there are people you come and you realize we just walked into this room together. Boom! Yo, the way I feel about you and the way you're feeling about me, it's about time we learned how we are going to construct this thing because you're already in it. Then there are those who work through the dating process. You see those guys, when I take you out on a date, it silently expresses the interest that I'm not only interested in a filios relationship with you, there's a possibility I'm also budgeting on how it's going to be erotic. Yeah, okay. I am moving with it's an open statement right there. You see, but with friendship, one, it may be a situation that just brings us together. Maybe the two of us were in an interview situation, and I went for the interview. I got interviewed. Then I came out. I didn't have a pen, and you helped me with a pen. Then coincidentally, from there, we just had a bond. You see,
yes.
In the process of knowing you, maybe it would have to be an intentional thing. I believe from one party, for you to have a construct like we are working towards trying to make it a relationship. And by the moment I call you out on this date, you know, or rather silently, unless you're daft, you know, we are trying to pivot towards something.
Yeah.
And on the other end, so if that is how you've come about it, then you're building something that is a friendship, yes, but has a bigger capacity, because this is more of the ship is bigger. If you're talking about the friendships, the relationships, the ship is quite bigger. What you are trying to build up is bigger, so it requires an attention to the foundation. But there are those who just stumble in the process of just linking. You realize, wait. You've now become oxygen. I'm not breathing well when you're not around. So when that realization comes, because it will come to you, at some moment you realize, guys, what's happening? So when you reach to that level from my end, I believe that's when you just sit down and realize, okay, now let us know if where I entered alone or I entered with someone, because there are situations where you entered somewhere alone. You thought you were dating yourself there. You see?
Yeah.
And it's still a friendship, but now you need that's why I believe now the structures would come in, because now you try and define, okay, what is this? Because now you just realize you don't know what it is. You see? So when you stumble into that, you need first to okay, get the pictures, get the angles right, then realize, are you alone? If you're alone, try and figure out if you want to proceed and gauge whether you are not alone, or rather it's something that you need to back out slowly. You know, you may open a door somewhere and find someone in a compromising situation. Like, let's imagine you go to a loo and the guy did not close there. Then you are there and your president just open, and when you open like this, whatever hits you, you do not even speak. In fact, you just lock eyes.
You freeze.
And you go. In fact, even the way you're pressed, it just disappears and you go your way. You see?
Okay.
That could be a situation. You just like, hey. Then you can back out. This is not what I want, and you get out of there. Yes.
Yeah.
But then you may find it's something that you want to maybe progress on. That's why you now begin that vetting, because relationships of that nature are of a higher caliber, because that means this is someone with now the potent to get to the core, and anything that gets to the core, understand, can destabilize the whole situation that is you, because they come deep and quite deep. So that is the moment you can go to vet it. The other thing is just the casual relationships, the friendships. You're my friend, so we link up, and that one does not really require a lot of assessing on the other, because even in workspaces, sometimes we make the mistake of thinking we have friends, but really what you have there is associates. There are people you associate with. You go to lunch together. You talk about football together. That's the end of that. You see, that's an association. The situation that has brought you together is that you both came for work, but in the place now you are now moving around. You're bonding, yes, but when it moves to friendship, it's now goes up another caliber. You see, and with associations, they don't really have that much of clauses of protection per se. Like, you may say something that I may actually forward to a senior level, and I won't have any charge. But if you thought I was your friend, now you'd be hurt. Tusema mtu ni mdaku nini, unajua, you'll find that. But they do have a responsibility when you know that environment. But when you have a friend in the office, nani boss ameingia, usikuje na bag, weka bag kwa choo, ingia kama umetoka choo. Wanipata?
Yeah.
That is your friend.
Yeah.
An associate won't like, they'll be like, wow, ameingia. Mkurugenzi, ndo unakuja masaa yako. But if the environment is that heated, you'll find a friend will tell you, hey, boss, hey, kumechemuka. Yeah, they'll give you more context. And they wouldn't even know, like, for a friend, they won't even understand why they need to tell you, but they'll feel like they need to tell you. I think you've met with people like that. Yes. You're telling, and you at the back, you're like, kind of, but you just feel like, if I do not tell you, I won't feel normal. I just want to tell you this, you see? And that is now within the classes of friendship.
And that is it for friendship. I feel there's so much more to be said and maybe learned in terms of friendship.
Maybe before you close it, because you're the brains that is going to end this conversation. I'm curious. The aspect of ghosting. Have you ever ghosted someone?
I wouldn't say I have ghosted someone, actually.
Raishas, are you?
I haven't ghosted anyone. Friends, not friends.
You never like
ghosting a friend, no. Ghosting people who want other things, yes. Ghosting men, yes.
How do you do it? Like take me through the process. How do you ghost someone?
You ghost someone by just staying silent. They send you a message, you read and leave it there. They call, you see the call ringing, and then you don't call back. So that's ghosting. Just don't, because I will say me, I'm a good person. When I'm ghosting you, you already know.
You're a good person.
I'm a very good person. When I'm ghosting you, you already know there is something like I don't want. You've tried making this something and I don't want it. So I'll ghost you. So you already know. I've given you a reason. So if you insist in those lines again, ni sawa basi. You will send your message, I will read, blue tick it and leave it there. I'm not blocking you because mimi sina shida na wewe. I'll just read it, leave it there. You call, I see the call, and I won't return it.
Is there like one you can remember you ghosted?
Most recently.
Oh my goodness. Who's the victim?
Most recently, someone has, okay, when you are kind to men, I find men, when you are kind to them, they take it to like for some interest in them. So I met this person.
Men. Mind the word, underline the word men.
Men.
This is a man, but it's men.
Men. Okay, for most men, Basi, let me not say, put you all in the same bracket, but for most men. So this one, I've met him in the context of we're working on something, I think. And so he could and I think I tried to explain it to him. And then you know me, I talk, even if it's not the subject matter of what we're talking about, I will take you elsewhere. So we went into politics, we went into, I don't know, religion, and we spoke.
You took him elsewhere.
We spoke. Tuliongea. Like the way I will just be like doing one thing, and then out of nowhere, if you don't regulate me, we will be in Timbuktu talking about I don't know what. So that is what happened. Then at the end of the conversation, I think he says something like, you're a very nice lady. I enjoyed this session. I'm like, good. I am a free therapist.
What were you doing?
We were talking. So once we're done talking, amesema ni sawa. Then I see him, he's trying to like now shoot shots. And I'm like, these are shots being shot. Me, I don't want. I gave you a nice time when we were earlier together, but a nice time in terms tumezungumza kama watu wazima tukazungumza, and he knows my political stand and we don't agree on that, but ni sawa and all that. Then I notice he's shooting shots, but he is coming from a point of it's not even someone I would want, because I think at some point in the 2-3 days we had met, he was like, President nimefika home and I wish you would na funguo zangu nikuje nipate uko hapa, everything will be nice. And he suggested that I would have cooked for him.
Guys,
in that moment, I just knew we wouldn't go anywhere. So eventually, he now comes up front.
Pull up. Just because the guy was thinking food, you were like.
Just because, okay, if I try to find the messages, it may take a while. But just because the guy, in the first few instances of us meeting, and in him asking how was your day, and him telling me how his day was, it came up that amechoka, and it would have been nicer, the day would have been nicer if I had his keys na ningekuwa kwake niwe nimempikia aje ale alale. So I was like, we're going nowhere. So eventually he like tries, maybe we can have a date, and I'm like, no, we can't have a date. Why are you ignoring me? And I tell him clearly, I was nice to you. We were in this working context. We still have work pending. So please refrain from doing 1, 2, 3. Let's finish the work that is pending, and then we will see moving forward.
Dear guys.
He continues, and so he's just sending me blue.
He's not sending you blue ticks.
He's just receiving blue ticks. So yes, that is just how you ghost people. I've made it clear, drawn boundaries. You don't respect them, and yeah, you ignore. But that is friendship. The other part of friendship we can talk about later on is this girls or ladies or even people who generally know they have never been someone's best friend hivi. That is for another day. But for us who swing it solo,
umeenda alafu alikuwa rafiki yangu mkubwa sana. We've seen that with Raila.
We have seen that, yes, but we've also there are also people who like just exist without no one to call in the evening. Like you've had a whole day, but there's no one who will call you. You're just like there.
Netflix,
So
kwani
you-
nini? But
So, yeah.
you talked about that. I've even thought about political friends.
Mhm.
I don't know. Is there friendship in politics?
There
Ah,
could
watu
be
wanakuwa
actually.
marafiki.
There could be actually. think there are.
Like, man, today in that debate you really beat me up. No, now hard feelings, man. Will you have let's go to the local.
Ni sawa. Me, I would say they are friends in politics. Probably.
Yeah, and probably that would actually be the cue for your thought line through your eyes. Would you want us to like go and pick out a politician and have them on this pod? We actually can do that, can't we?
Yes.
We can, but we'd want your input particularly so that we can get the aspect through your eyes, and we can have them here, and also they can give us their perspective through their eyes. Can able to chime in, tell us, you see, let's tuone kama tunaweza jua huyu zaidi, be willing to make the effort and bring it up to there. Well, tell a friend to tell a friend. Through My Eyes podcast is making waves, is moving, is looking for that expanding space. And of course, you can be able to make that happen for us by clicking the subscribe button, also pressing the bell on your screen so that you can be able to get an update each time we release a piece out here that is informative, particularly Through My Eyes as the muscle that is Emmanuel Kutosi and
the brains, Yvonne Kimuma. All the best and see you next time.
all right.
Yo, cut your kid.
That one was longer.
Yes.
Like that.